Have you ever felt the silence after a breakup like a towering mountain you can't overcome? The long days without messages, calls, or any sign from your ex can leave you overwhelmed, anxious, and wondering if you're doing the right thing. But you're not alone. It's a feeling anyone who applies the no contact rule goes through. Today we'll delve into the true power of no contact, how time becomes your greatest ally, and why this silence is not just a tactic, but the key to restoring attraction and control in any relationship. No contact isn't just about waiting for someone. It's a journey of rediscovering yourself, your self-respect, your confidence, and your ability to build a life you truly love. If you're feeling scared, pressured, or doubtful, join me in exploring how time and silence can not only help you overcome those feelings, but also transform you into a stronger, more attractive version of yourself. Let's embark on this journey together. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now. The upcoming insights will equip you to not only overcome this difficult phase, but also move forward with confidence and strength. First, analyzing the post-breakup psychology. Breakups are always painful experiences, and the first feeling you face is shock. This is not unusual, because when someone you trust and love suddenly leaves, you feel like your whole world is falling apart. You didn't see it coming, and this makes you feel lost and disoriented, as if everything you built together has been taken away in an instant. Whether your relationship was filled with happiness or had its share of problems, the decision to break up from the other side always leaves a big hole in your heart. If the relationship was good, you wonder, why did they leave when things were going well? If there were previous struggles, you think, I tried to overcome everything, but they still chose to let go. Whatever the reason, the feelings of pain, hurt, and injustice are inevitable. Then you enter a phase of panic as your brain tries to make sense of what just happened. The feeling of emptiness in your mind urges you to do something to salvage the situation. And that's when many people start begging, pleading, writing letters, sending flowers, doing everything they can to convince their ex to come back. But you need to understand a harsh truth. This breakup wasn't an impulsive decision. When your ex says, "I don't want to be with you anymore," you might think it's a sudden decision, but in most cases, they've been thinking about it for a long time. This isn't a momentary outburst of anger leading to a breakup after a big fight. They've taken the time to consider and plan for this. That explains why they can be so cold and decisive. Imagine the flow of water representing your ex's love. In your eyes, that water is flowing strongly, and then suddenly they turn off the faucet. 1 second it was gushing, now it's completely dry. That feeling is not only confusing but also creates a deep fear that you will never get their affection back. The more you try to hold on, the more you see them build up emotional walls, becoming colder and more distant. This confuses you. How can they be so indifferent? They used to love me. But the truth is, to be able to break up, they have to build those walls to protect themselves. They need distance to make this difficult decision without wavering. However, you need to remember they are human too. No matter how cold they seem, deep down they can't completely turn off their feelings of attachment to you. They are also struggling internally, even if you can't see it. Psychology explains that when we love someone, a strong bond is formed both emotionally and biologically. Breaking up is not just ending a relationship, it's also the breaking of a deep connection. That's why you feel physical pain, insomnia, loss of appetite, nausea, cold sweats, chest tightness. These symptoms are not just a broken heart, but the body's real physiological response to being cut off from a bond. Remember, your ex is not immune to this either. Even if they appear happy, indifferent, or even start seeing someone new, it doesn't mean they don't feel anything. Initially, leaving may bring them a sense of relief. They temporarily escape the stress of the relationship. But as time passes, the void you leave begins to creep into their minds. At this point, your natural reaction is to want to do something to pull them back. But that's a mistake. When you chase and beg, you not only make them feel pressured, but you also reinforce their decision to break up. On the contrary, no contact gives them space to face their own emotions. When you walk away, the attachment doesn't disappear, it just switches from an active state to a passive state. Instead of constantly being reminded of your presence by you, they begin to feel your absence. When distance is established, they will go through the same emotional stages as you, from relief to confusion, then bewilderment and regret. They start thinking about you. What are they doing? Why haven't they contacted me? Have they moved on? These questions are not just signs of curiosity, but the first step in rekindling any remaining feelings. During this time, you need to focus on yourself. Turn the no-contact period into an opportunity to rebuild your life. This not only helps you recover but also increases your attractiveness in the eyes of your ex. Remember, attractive people are not the ones who chase, but the ones who know their worth. When you stop chasing, you not only restore balance in the relationship, but you also make them realize that if they don't act, they could lose you forever. Time is your greatest ally. Trust that when you invest in yourself, you not only change your own life, but you also change the way they see you forever. Next, the power of time and no contact. The journey of emotional change after a breakup. In the early days after a breakup, everything seems to fall into a whirlwind of emotional chaos. She may seem very confident and happy, but that doesn't mean this comfort will last forever. Initially, when she decides to leave you, a sense of relief often prevails. She believes she has resolved an uncomfortable knot in the relationship, as if freedom has just been bestowed upon her. However, time not only soothes this relief but also completely changes her feelings about that decision. At first, she enjoys a state of indifference, feeling like she has overcome a challenging emotional hill. She may post cheerful photos, attend parties, or engage in lively social activities. However, all of these are masks that hide the feeling of emptiness that is silently emerging. The habits you once brought, the morning greetings, the warm presence, now become a void that is difficult to fill. She doesn't realize it right away, but the quiet moments gradually reveal this absence. A familiar song, a street corner you used to walk together, or even a message that no longer appears on the phone screen, all begin to evoke memories she tried to forget. Time is a factor that cannot be rushed, but it always works in its own way. In the early days, she felt certain that she was right, but as the weeks go by, the initial relief gives way to other feelings. At first, there are small doubts. Was I too hasty? Was this decision really the right one? Then these feelings grow as she begins to face the reality that you are no longer there. No more chasing, no more sending messages to check in, no more trying to hold on. Your silence becomes a mirror, forcing her to look back at what she has lost. This is where the power of time and silence comes into play. Instead of trying to make contact, you let her go through her own journey. As time passes, she begins to experience the feelings of grief that you experienced immediately after the breakup. But the difference here is that she doesn't have you by her side as a source of comfort. New relationships, social pleasures, or fleeting encounters only highlight the difference between others and you. She realizes that no one brings the feeling of security and deep understanding that you once did. Insecurity gradually takes over her mind, especially in quiet moments. She wonders, what is he doing? Has he moved on from me? If he has moved on, have I lost the chance to fix things? These questions are not just the result of curiosity, but also reflect deep regret for her decision. You may sense this change through small signs like her following you on social media, or indirect probing messages like, do you still have the shirt I left behind? But this is when you need to be most steadfast. Breaking the silence too soon will diminish the effectiveness of the entire process. Let her fully feel the consequences of the breakup decision. If you contact or text her at this time, you are interrupting her emotional journey. You don't give her the opportunity to face the anxieties, insecurities, and feelings of loss that you once endured. When she begins to regret, you will realize one important thing. You don't need to do much other than focus on yourself. She will realize that you are not just an ex-boyfriend, but someone she cannot replace. The time you invest in yourself, learning, growing, reconnecting with friends and family, will make you the best version of yourself. When she comes back, if she does, you will no longer be the man who begged or clung. You are the one who has matured through suffering, who understands his own worth and doesn't need anyone to define it. Time and the no-contact tactic not only help you regain balance, but also allow your ex to face their true feelings. Don't rush to break this process. Instead, trust in the power of time, because it not only helps you recover, but is also the most powerful tool to completely change the dynamics of the relationship. Number 3, no contact, the golden time to reclaim your own power. The no contact period is not just a strategy to rebuild attraction with your ex, but it is also a golden phase for you to recover your inner strength. After a breakup, your emotions often fall into a state of chaos, from suffering, confusion, to a sense of disorientation. But it is in silence that you have the opportunity to ask yourself, who am I really when I am no longer in this relationship? What makes me strong, independent, and valuable? No contact is like a pause button for all the chaotic emotions. It allows you to escape from obsessive thoughts about your ex, questions like, what are they doing? Or where did I go wrong? Taking a step back doesn't mean giving up, it's about redefining yourself. When you are no longer caught up in emotional interactions with them, you will begin to see more clearly about yourself, the relationship, and what really matters in life. In a relationship, you may have become accustomed to putting the other person's needs first. But now, no contact gives you the opportunity to regain control of your life. You are no longer dominated by thoughts like, will they reply to my message? Or what should I do to get their attention? Instead, you decide what to do to improve yourself. This control is the power that helps you feel more confident and independent every day. This is the perfect time to invest in areas you have neglected. Learn a new skill, take a class, start a project you've been putting off, or simply take time for your physical and mental health. Every step forward, no matter how small, helps you rebuild your image of yourself, not as someone suffering from a breakup, but as a strong individual moving forward. No contact is not just to make your ex realize your worth, but for you to realize it yourself. You don't need anyone to prove that you deserve to be loved and respected. As you gradually regain your confidence, you will realize that your value does not lie in whether others choose you, but in how you choose yourself. During this time, you have the opportunity to mend relationships you may have neglected with friends, family, and especially with yourself. These connections not only help you feel more fulfilled, but also provide a source of positive energy for you to move forward. Remember that no contact is not just about not texting or calling. It's how you tell the world and yourself that you are strong enough to live without validation from others. When you use this time to rebuild your life, you not only change how your ex sees you, but you also redefine how you see yourself. The no contact period is the stepping stone for you to regain strength, confidence, and become the best version of yourself. And when you do that, you will not only get your ex's attention, but also become a source of inspiration for yourself on the journey ahead.